If you've been wanting to add couples matching shirts to your Etsy shop, but you're just afraid that you're not going to set it up right and you don't know how, then this is the video for you. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up matching couples shirts, and I'm also going to show you how to link them with Simply Listed. And this whole process is going to be done with print on demand. If you don't know what print on demand is, it's a business model where we create the designs and then we partner with a production partner and they do all of the shipping and printing for us. In this case, we're going to be using Printify in this video and how to use Printify and Etsy. If you're new around here, my name is Ariel and I talk everything Etsy and print on demand and everything that I have learned in the last 3 years of selling on Etsy. I have scaled my shop to a 6-figure Etsy shop and it has become successful at this point, and now I am sharing all of the knowledge that I have learned with you guys. So if you're interested, go ahead and stick around. Okay, so first what we want to do is we want to set up a couples matching template in Etsy so that we can reuse this over and over every time that we do a couples matching listing, and it'll make the process a lot faster for us later on. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click add listing at the top here, and you're going to fill out everything that you need to. So it's going to be t-shirts, continue, we're going to do physical item, who made it, another person or company, a finished product, when did they make it or when did you make it, and it should be made to order. And then you would select your production partner. In this case, it's going to be Printify. Then we'll click done, continue. And you're going to put in a title. This is just for internal purposes only. This is so you know what template this is for. So we're going to say couples matching shirts template. Perfect. And if it's themed, and in our case it's actually going to be themed, so you can make multiple templates. This one I want to be Christmas, so we'll go ahead and put Christmas because the colors are going to be different that we offer, so I'm just going to have a separate template for Christmas. Next, we're going to add any photos. So this is just going to be anything that can carry over every single time, like a size chart, any shop policies, color charts, things like that. So just for the example, I'm going to put size chart, just so we have a placeholder here. And so that is just going to carry over every time. Next, you're going to put in your description. This is just going to be a little brief summary of what you're selling. And then you're also going to put in, like, say, your production time, your shipping time, any shop policies, any care instructions for the shirts. In our example, I'm just going to go ahead and put comfort colors shirt, and then and then I'll just go ahead and put that all in later, but just so you guys know, that's what you're going to put there. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and add our variation. So you're going to click add variation, create your own. And in this case, since we're going to do different designs on each of the shirts, we're going to do a mom and a dad shirt. We want to do the color of the shirt and the size of the shirt in the same variation. So we're going to go ahead and put size/color. You could even put shirt in front of it, shirt size and color. And then this is where it's going to be important to copy things over exactly how it says on Printify if we're going to be using Simply Listed. And I'm going to show you how to use Simply Listed in this tutorial. So you're going to make sure that it says the exact size, so unisex, small, and then we'll put the color next to it. So we'll start with white and then enter. And I'm just going to copy the unisex, copy, or you know what, I'm going to copy the whole thing, copy, and then we're going to paste to make the process faster, and then you'll just have to change out the size to medium, caps lock, there we go, and then we'll just keep doing that, paste, large, large, so on and so forth. Okay, so it took a little bit of time, but we only have to do this once because it's a template and then we can reuse it over and over. But I went ahead and chose a white, ivory, black, moss, and blue jean. I might actually add pepper because that's a really popular color too. But those are like some of the most popular colors, and then also I added the moss and the blue jean because I thought those could go with like a Christmas design. But choose whatever colors you want that are going to be in your template, and then you're going to go ahead and click done. We're going to actually add another variation, so we're going to click manage variations. We're going to add another one, and we're going to create our own, and then we're going to put saying, and one will be the mama design, and one will be the dad design. Now, if you're offering a mom and dad shirt, you want it to say exactly what your design says, because this is going to link to the product on Printify and print it exactly how it says. We're not going to give them an option in the personalization box to change this. Now, there's a whole nother way on how to do that, and I might add it to this video if it's not too long. But in this case, we're going to just add mama and dad, and then we're going to click done. And then when we're managing our variations, we're going to go ahead and click prices vary, quantities vary, and SKUs vary, and then we're going to go ahead and click apply. Now we can see we have 70 variants, so that would be a lot to link the SKUs individually. If you weren't using Simply Listed with their SKU linking feature, which I'm going to show you guys later in this tutorial, you would have to copy every size and color. So you'd have to come down and you would have to copy black to black, white to white, and you would have to do it individually for each one of these, and then go back over and paste it in ourselves. And that's going to take a long time, and a lot of the time it's not even really worth it. So this is where Simply Listed is going to be super helpful. But we're going to go ahead and leave that blank for now because this is just a template, and then we'll add it once we make a copy of it later. So then you're going to come down, we have that all filled out. You want to make sure you have the production partner that you want, which we filled out. This is where you would want to put in, actually you don't need to put in any of your tags yet because this is just a template. You can put in your shipping profile, so go ahead and select your shipping profile. If you charge for shipping or if you do free shipping, this is where you could set it so that it just carries over each time. And then if you have any shop policies, you can go ahead and add that so it carries over. And then you would just fill out your shop section, and that is just basically if you have like a Christmas section, you could put it in the Christmas section, for example. And then if you're running ads, you can add switch that on or just leave it if you want to feature the listing. And then just if you want it automatic or manual. Automatic, it'll automatically renew every 3 months and charge you a 20-cent fee. If you do manual, then you just renew it yourself. It'll expire in 3 months and then you can reassess. So a lot of people like manual. I keep mine on automatic because sometimes I forget to renew listings, and then sometimes they don't even sell for the first 3 months, and then I get sales later on. So it's worth it. Worth the 20 cents to me, but that's up to you guys. Okay, and then you're going to save as draft. Okay, next we just want to make our designs. So in this case, we're making one that says mama and one that says dad. I tried to make them kind of Christmassy, but this is just an example. If you were doing this yourself, make sure you're doing your market research and your designs are much better than this one. But like I said, this is just for the example. Next, you're going to want to go to Printify, and you're going to upload the designs on the 2 different products. So we're going to create 2 different shirts. One is going to be the mama and one is going to be the dad. So I went ahead and pulled up the Comfort Colors shirt, and I selected the colors here that I wanted, and then I'm going to just go ahead and upload the one that we just downloaded. Perfect. Let me just center it, and then you're going to save product. Now, since we're creating our listings starting on Etsy, you don't have to worry about putting your title and tags and all that stuff in the Printify listing. You can change the title if you want, just for internal purposes, so you know what it is. I'm just going to put Christmas Mama shirt, and that's pretty much it. Then you're just going to save it as a draft. Then what I went ahead and did is I just duplicated the mama one, and I'm just going to edit it so that all of my colors are going to still be carried over, and then we're just going to replace the text with dad. Okay, now that we replaced it with dad, you're going to go ahead and save this one. And same thing, we're just gonna put a title for internal purposes only. Instead of Christmas Mama shirt, we're gonna put Christmas Dad shirt, and we're gonna save it as a draft as well. One more thing I forgot to mention earlier in the video is when we're setting up our template in Etsy, you want to make sure that you put in the price and the quantity first, so that will carry over. It's saying please fix these variations, so make sure that everything is filled out before we save it as a draft. So this is where you would put whatever price that you are charging for your shirts, and I like to just kind of bulk edit it, so you can click on shirt size and color here, and you can click on actions, and then you can click update price. So say you're charging $30 for your comfort color shirts, and then click apply, and then that'll make it a lot faster. You can also change the pricing for the larger sizes if you want to charge more, because Printify charges us more for those. But this is when you would basically put in all of your pricing and make sure it's set how you want it. And then we want to update our quantity. You want it to be $9.99 for all of them, so just go ahead and copy and paste that all the way down. I thought there was a faster way to do that. Let me know if there is, but I'm just gonna quickly fill that in. Okay, perfect. Now that we filled in the quantity and everything is filled out, we're gonna go ahead and save as draft. Now that we have it saved as a draft, this is going to be our template that we use over and over again, so we don't want to actually list this in our shop. It's in our drafts over here. So what we're going to do is click on the little drop down, and we're just going to make a copy of it. Now that we have a copy, we can actually put in our title, our tags, everything that we normally would put in, our mock-ups, and we're going to list it like a regular listing. So you would put in your 140 characters here. You would do, you know, Christmas matching shirts. You wouldn't put template. You could put, you know, comfort colors matching Christmas shirts, couples matching tees. Oops. You would do your market research for this, but basically fill up your 140 characters. Although there is something new on Etsy right now where they're saying that they want the title to be shorter. They're doing a test, so maybe if it's a new listing, go ahead and try a shorter title and see if that gives you some success. I am still new to this, so I don't really have any advice when it comes to that, except for maybe doing an A/B test. So you could do one where you post it with the full title, and then another one where you don't change anything else in the listing, but you just change the title to a little bit shorter, and then see which one performs better. That would be my advice. Okay, so then we're going to come down and we would add our mock-ups that we created either ourselves. In this case though, I'm going to show you how to use Simply Listed for the mock-ups and for the SKU linking. So if you're doing it without Simply Listed, this is where you would go ahead and upload any mock-ups that you have of the couples matching shirts. And then you would come in, and this should already be filled out. This should be your description. We already have our pricing. We want to make sure that we have the SKUs vary on. Apply. And this is when we're going to use Simply Listed to match the SKUs. So let me first show you guys how to match the SKUs from Simply Listed. You're going to go ahead and grab at the top this number here from your listing. You're going to copy that, and then I'm going to show you where we're going to put it over in Simply Listed. Okay, so here we are in Simply Listed. You're going to go over to the side where it says SKU linking and click on that. And then you're going to click on choose products, and then you're just going to type in the title that you saved it in Printify. In our case, we saved it under Christmas Dad shirt, and then we also saved it as Christmas Mom shirt. So here it is, it popped up. We're just going to click on that, and then I'm also going to do the one for Christmas Mom shirt. You can also search for it by title, SKU, any of these, and then just type it in and it'll find it for you. And then I just clicked on the Mama one as well. And then we're going to go ahead and click Continue. And Confirm. Now all I have to do is click on the dad shirt and then click on dad and then click on the mom shirt and click on mom and click continue. And now it says your SKUs have been successfully linked to Etsy. It's that simple. So let's go ahead and go back and make sure that they all match. Alright, so we're back in the listing on Etsy and it looks like all those SKUs, the 70 variants, were linked. If you want to double check to make sure it was linked properly, you can always go back to Printify and check which ones are linked to which and make sure that it matches. But I checked a couple of them and it matches. Everything looks great. Now that the SKUs are all linked, I'm going to show you also how we can use Simply Listed to link our photos a lot quicker. Okay, so we want to come over to Canva. And you want to upload all of your couples matching mockups. It doesn't have to be couples in the photo, but I do recommend the first one at least be 2 shirts so they understand that they can buy, you know, a couples matching. They could buy both. But if you only have mockups for like single person with the mockup, that's fine too. You could just change out the design. It'll still get the point across. But in this case, I have couples matching. I actually bought these from Watermelon Mocks on Etsy, and I think she does bundles and she does discounts a lot as well. So if you're interested in these mockups, I highly recommend checking her out. She has a lot of bestsellers, so that's why I bought them. But anyways, you're going to create your mockups all in one Canva document. You're going to share, download as a JPEG, and then you're going to make sure you do all of the pages. One other thing I meant to mention, I'm not going to do it in this video, but you can also add any photo cards on these slides as well, so that when you're posting them from Simply Listed over to Etsy, it'll carry over everything for you all in one, and it'll be a lot easier. But for this example, I'm only going to do the mock-up, so go ahead and download. Once we're over in Simply Listed, you're going to come over here and click on Listing Template. And then in the corner, it'll say add new template up here. I'm just skipping that page because it shows all of my personal mockups and I just don't want to be identified with my store because copycats are a real thing. So I'm just protecting my own shop in this case. But basically it's going to say add a template in the corner and it'll bring you to this page here. You're going to click custom templates, select custom template. And then what you're going to do is you're going to upload those mockups that we just made in Canva. So you're going to go ahead and choose files, and we're going to go ahead and open all of those and click save. Okay, then it'll bring you to this page and you're going to create a title. This is for internal purposes only, so we can put Christmas couples matching shirts comfort colors, whatever is going to help you identify what template you have. And then we're going to create a placeholder for the mama design, and then we're going to create another placeholder for the dad design. So we're going to click on placeholder, and for the dimensions, we're going to want to put what it says on Printify for the shirt size. So we're just going to go check on Printify and make sure that it matches. Where you can find that on Printify is by checking the information button here, and it'll say print area size, which is 4200 by 4800 pixels. So we'll go ahead and just put that in as our dimensions. Okay, now that we put in our dimensions, we're gonna name the placeholder. In this case, we can put mama for one and dad for the other, or we could simply just put design 1 and design 2 if you're going to do different designs for the couples matching in the future when you're using this template. I'm just going to put design 1. I think that's easier. So click save, and then we're basically going to use design 1 for only the mama one. So we're going to go ahead and pull this across about that big, because this is the space that it takes up on the shirt in Printify. So you want it to be about the same area as you see in Printify, and then it'll carry over about the same. So we're gonna go ahead and center it a little bit. Maybe I'll make it a little smaller. You kind of have to play around with it. And then we're going to go ahead and lower the transparency just like you normally would if you were doing your mock-ups manually. I usually do between like 80 and 90. So maybe we'll do 85, see how that goes. And then we're going to go ahead and add another placeholder, and we're going to name that one Design 2. So we're going to put in the same dimensions. Perfect, and then we'll go ahead and save. Now we have the Design 2 placeholder, and I'm going to go ahead and size this on the one that we want to say Dad. Lower the transparency. And perfect. So we're going to go ahead and do that for all of our mock-ups real quick. So when we're adding the placeholder now, we have the Design 1. We know that that one's going to be for the mama design. So we're just going to do it for every mock-up. And you only have to do this one time, and then you can reuse this template over and over again, and it's going to be so much faster. I promise this is going to feel like it takes a little bit of time at first, but once you reuse it for multiple designs, it's going to be definitely worth it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the last one. Once we're happy with where the placeholders are and we have all of our photo cards and everything done, we can go ahead and click Save. Okay, next, all we need to do is add our design. So we're going to go ahead and download the designs from Canva, and then we're going to test it first. The reason that we're going to test it, so you're going to click here, Test, and the reason we're going to test it first is depending on what plan you have with Simply Listed, or if you just have the free trial, I believe you only have so many mock-ups that you can use up until you're out. So this will help you avoid any mistakes that you made and make sure that you like how it looks first before you actually link it. So we're going to go ahead and click on Design 1, and I already uploaded the mom and dad. We're going to click on the mama first, and then we're going to confirm selection, and then for Design 2 we're going to click on Dad, confirm selection, and then test artwork. Okay, and then it'll give you a preview, and you can kind of scroll through to see if you like it. See right here, I may have made some sort of mistake with the template on this one, so I'm going to go back and edit that because the dad looks a little funky. That looks good, that looks good. So I'm happy with all of them except for that, so we're going to go ahead and change it, and we're going to edit it here. So it was the pepper. Let's see. I don't know what I did wrong here. I'm going to go ahead and just delete this and re-add it in and see if that fixes the problem. I don't really know what I did wrong. Okay, there we go. Bring it down. Okay, then we're gonna save it. And then we'll just do the same thing and test it again. Alright, perfect. After testing it again, I fixed it and it looks great. So we know that we're happy with that template, and we can reuse it over and over again for any couples matching listings that we use that has 2 different designs on each of them. Or it could even be the same design, we can still use it. Okay, so then to officially link it, you're going to just click on the image and attach artwork. We're going to do the same thing. Mom is going to go, oops. Mom's going to go to the Design 1, Dad is going to go to the Design 2, and then we're going to click Attach Artwork. Okay, and then you're just going to click on Approval Queue, and that is where it's going to show up for you. And then you can just look over it one more time with the arrows here, make sure you're happy with how it looks. It even includes a video for you, which is really cool. It does a slideshow, so that is awesome, and it'll just sync it all to Etsy once you just add the listing ID. So we're going to go ahead and grab that same listing ID, and then you're going to paste in the ID. Again, this number you can find at the top of your Etsy listing when you're editing your listing for this, and then it'll do a little check mark to show that it was able to find it, and then you would just click publish. All right, so it looks like it carried over perfectly, and it also carried over the video, which is awesome. Like I said, you want to include your photo cards or anything else that you're going to include, like size charts, color charts, anything that you want in your listing in Simply Listed, so that it'll carry over, because it will replace anything that was already here. We had that size chart already uploaded in our listing template on Etsy, but it's going to overwrite that. So just make sure you have everything you need so it makes it super fast and easy. All right, that's pretty much it. And then you're just going to double check that everything looks good, make sure your description looks good, your pricing, your SKUs are already done, and just check through it one more time, add your tags. Yeah, just make sure everything looks great, and then you can publish it. If you enjoyed this tutorial, consider liking and subscribing. That really helps me grow my channel and know what to make for you guys. I want to create content that is helpful and helping everyone to build their businesses. So go ahead and leave comments if you have any questions. I'll go ahead and link the Simply Listed link down in the description. It is an affiliate link, so it does help me out. But I really, really recommend this software. It has saved me hours and hours of not having to put the design on the mock-up for each one, and it has allowed me to scale my shop to where it is today, and I highly recommend this tool in your shop. Lastly, it is time for the weekly wins. My weekly win this week is I got another big group order. I was super excited because I was having a really low month with sales. My sales were really good over the summer because I was in the teacher niche. I wasn't preparing for Halloween, so October has been painfully slow for me. I will be sharing those numbers next month with you guys so you can see my journey on Etsy each month, but it has been difficult. It has been hard pushing through when my sales have been very down. And today I was super excited because I got an order of 51 shirts. It was for a school, and a teacher had reached out to me earlier in the week and asked if I could personalize one of my listings to match all of the departments in that school. And of course, I messaged her back right away and I told her, of course we can. My recommendation, if a customer ever reaches out to you and they want you to change something, say yes. If you can do it, say yes. Get back to them as quickly as possible. Every time that I have said yes, well, almost every time that I have said yes, it has really paid off for me. And that listing also gets a boost because they bought shirts from it, and then it'll get a boost in the algorithm, and you're most likely going to get more sales from other customers on that listing. So it's just a win-win. It's great to say yes to customers when you can, and it's just great customer service. But that is my win for the week, and I am super excited about it. What is your weekly win? Put it down in the comments. It doesn't matter how small or how big it is. You should always be celebrating your wins throughout the week to stay motivated and keep going. All right, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video and you go out and create a couples matching shirt listing today. It's always important to take action. Watching videos like this is really helpful, but if you don't take action on it right away, you're likely not going to do it, or it's just going to not make you any money. You want to make sure that you're doing things that are money-making activities, so that would be doing your listings and posting stuff for sale. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful Q4, a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!